Welcome to Innovator's Journey, the show where we explore the stories, experiences, and turning points that shape leaders across industries. I'm Nick Franck, and today I'm joined by Maria Scheer, a seasoned real estate professional with Century 21 Real Estate and a senior procurement analyst at Unisys. Maria spent 20 years at Walmart, where she served as a department manager and brings a unique combination of frontline leadership, corporate experience, and real estate experience to everything she does. She's an active member of several real estate organizations, including the National Association of Realtors and the Bismarck Mandan Board of Realtors. Maria, thanks for joining me.
Wonderful to be here. It's great to be on camera and talk about something I love.
Yeah, which is
Real estate.
selling homes. But as we look beyond that, let's start with behind the scenes work that the realtors have to do, right? Like everyone sees you walking into the house, showing the house, but there's so much more to that. So for example, how do you navigate the paperwork, negotiating on clients' behalf, identify potential issues? Talk about the behind the scenes work.
Well, everybody thinks that real estate agents, all we do is unlock a door and take people into a house and, oh, look how pretty it is, and say, oh, good, we'll help you buy your house. But we do have rigorous training and meetings and scheduling to go through. Even to get your real estate license to start with, we have a 90-hour course that we have to take, and you pass an exam to get out of class, but then you also have a 3-hour sitting exam to take to get licensed. It's not an easy test. It's a lot of knowledge on various subjects. We then have to learn all of the forms. Everything has got a form. It's all gone over by legal, but we have to also understand what all the wording means. What exactly are we filling in? A listing agreement with somebody to sell their house is 10 pages. There's like 300 lines, and you have to know what every line means, what box to check, what signatures need to be done, what documents need to support that. So, there's a lot to go through. And in the last just over a year and a half, we've had a lot of changes due to the NAR settlement and the government dictating how we have to do our jobs. So there's a lot of changes to all the documents. We've gotten more documents, and you think, oh, I'm just going to go sell my house. Well, it's not that easy. That's why you should hire a professional to help you.
You mentioned the paperwork, and it just brought flashbacks to when my wife and I bought our first house and just the mountain of paperwork that we had to sign. And when we did that, when we bought it, we were really fortunate to have a really great realtor. And it started with the relationship, right? Is building that relationship with someone that you feel like you can trust to help make that process smooth. So what is your process like? How do you feel like you help build that relationship to make that transaction feel smooth for a person who might be that first time home buyer?
I really like to get to know my buyers. I've had a few referrals from family members, and off of an open house, somebody came and I said, here's what we're going to do. We can walk through the whole process. I'll talk to them about, do you have your financing done? Did you go get pre-approved? Do you have an idea? What are you looking for in a property? Do you have your must-haves, want-to-haves, can't live without? And then there's always the absolutely none of this in my house. I do not want carpeting in my house. So, okay, we need to look at something that either has no carpeting, has limited carpeting, or maybe the seller is offering the buyer a discount because they'll help them switch out the flooring because they know the carpet needs to be changed. They don't have the time to do it, so they'll give you an allowance that says, okay, we'll give you $3,000 to change flooring in your house. And so making sure that I listen to my clients, whether it's buyers or sellers, to understand what are your goals, what do you want out of this, because that's my job, is to listen to you and then go out and make sure everything goes smoothly. I got to fill out all the paperwork. I make sure the title company is set up and help you find the house that you want. We bring in all the brokers and agents to come through and look at it and say, okay, here's a great new property. We want you to come in and look at it ahead of time and get your buyers out here. But you've seen it, so you can say, yes, it's got all the boxes ticked. Yes, I can, my clients will really like this. So sometimes it's us pre-shopping and checking that out for the clients. And I've been in customer service for over 40 years almost. So listening and understanding what they need is the big point of what a realtor should do for their clients. Not all of us are created equal, but hopefully they are.
Well, and there are some folks who want to try to do it themselves, right? Like they're like, hey, I can buy my house by myself, or I can sell my house by myself, and they try to go through that process. What are some of the challenges, the pitfalls that some people encounter when they do try to do it without a professional helping them?
You can end up that you didn't get all of your documents signed. You might miss a box. You might miss a line. You might still have to pay to have the title company change the title over. So you're gonna end up paying somebody something to do the paperwork because it's just a legal document. So whether it be an attorney, a title company, the real estate agent, all these different people are going to have their hand in the pot to get this transaction handled. And sometimes it's just nice to know that you as the buyer can just walk up and sit down and sign everything. You don't have to think about all the other documents and information that have to be handed over and given out and going through a home inspection or getting the assessors out there to make sure your property is worth what you say it's worth. Realtors will help you set the price on your property. We look at past, present, and current sales, what's going on in the market, so we can price the property correctly for where it's at in the market. A lot of people seem to think their house is worth $500,000 and it's not. And, they just want a lot of money for it. Oh, I put so much work into my house. Yeah, but, updates are still needed. So not everybody likes the retro look, I'll tell you that.
And when you think back at your background, you've mentioned the multiple decades of experience in customer service, your time at Walmart, your time as a senior analyst. How do you think that's helped shape your perspective on real estate, the transactions, just the whole process?
Well, working in retail, you got to look at all the paperwork. You have to figure out how your sales are working and what you need to do to make the sales. You've got to listen to your customers. As my job as an analyst, I have to listen to my constituents. What are they looking for? What do they need? So I can properly do my job. It's taught me how to listen. And that's actually an art to listening and not trying to speak over that person. The person's trying to say what they want in a house and you're like, okay, I get that. 2-bed, 3-bath. Okay, got it. Okay, we're going to go look at this. But maybe there was that other thing that I don't want an attic, or the driveway can't be very long, or I have to have a garage. Up here in the Midwest, we really like our garages.
A heated garage specifically.
Yeah, there are a few people who really want one of those too. We don't always get that, but we can get you a garage.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
hey, if I'm in your area and I'm looking to buy a house, sell a house, how can I find you to get your services?
I am online through the Century 21 Morrison Real Estate. You can even go to a Century 21 website and just search for houses in Bismarck. My name would come up along with all the other agents that are there. Nobody said you had to sign an agreement that minute. Some realtors are going to be, okay, well, I'm not talking to you until you sign this piece of paper. We got to have this agreement and we're going to sign up, and then you're locked in with me for the next 6 months. You can't do anything else. And I don't approach it that way. I want someone to just come in and talk, have a conversation. I don't want to lock them into something and they're just like, yeah, you're just not listening, you're not paying attention, this is not going well. And getting out of those contracts is not an easy process. When you sign it, you better make sure you like the person you're working with. And I'd hope they would like me, but yeah.
Right.
Although I tell my kids they have to pick me.
And Uncle Frank too. Uncle Frank's got to pick you as well.
Absolutely, yes, pick me.
Maria, thank you so much for joining me and sharing in this great conversation.
Absolutely, it's been a good time.
Hey, well, if this episode encouraged you to embrace new challenges, find a home, find a connection with the person that you're working with to buy or sell your house, share it with someone in the area who might be interested in enlisting Maria's services. Thank you for watching. I'm Nick Franck. We'll catch you for the next Innovators Journey.